everyone, today we're here at Chimneys House to meet Matt Small from T150 Energy. Hi Matt, thanks for coming today.
Absolute pleasure, thank you for having me along.
No problem. Really looking forward to this podcast because I know that you've got a story to tell. Want to find out more about this initiative that we're going to be talking about, and obviously to share with the audience because we're in for a treat. So can you share the inspiration behind the payback scheme and your £1 million mission, which sounds very daunting, but you've put it out there now.
Absolutely.
And how did your personal experience, because I know you've got a personal experience and a personal story to tell, how did that create this initiative?
Yeah, absolutely. So, funnily enough, this Saturday sees my 4-year brainiversary.
Okay.
As it's been coined with many colloid cyst survivors. And that's exactly what I had. I had a colloid cyst in the third ventricle of my brain, which was causing hydrocephalus. So I basically got told I was at risk of sudden death and had 6 months left to live. I was incredibly fortunate that I found it very early. I was training with my personal trainer at the gym at the time, and just out of nowhere had this instant migraine come on, very sudden, and got about halfway through the session with Brian, and I was like, look mate, I'm done.
Yeah.
Meds pounding.
Yeah.
And just had this niggling headache for a couple of weeks afterwards, 2-3 weeks afterwards, and it was back in November 2020. Obviously COVID was going around, and the wife basically said to me, she said, look, keep moaning about this headache, why don't you give the GP surgery a call, because it could be this COVID thing. So, like a good husband, I listened to my wife and basically phoned up my local GP surgery in Rugeley at Sandy Lane. I spoke to the nurse, said, look, I've had this headache, it's nothing major, but I'm just aware of it. Being ex-Staffordshire Regiment, I was hoping that they're going to tell me to man up and take some paracetamol. And mentioned the migraine that had come on a couple of weeks before, and the nurse said, right, she says, just want to speak to Dr. Stokes. And I thought, damn, she's going for a second opinion. This can't be good.
This sounds serious.
She came back on the phone and said, look, I've spoken to Dr. Stokes. We want you to go to A&E now and ask for a CT scan because we're concerned you might have had a bleed on the brain. I drove myself over to Stafford. I think that's probably about 11:30ish on the Monday. And they did a CT scan, said, right, we've got something we don't really like the look of, we're going to take you to Stoke for an MRI. So I came over here from an MRI, and I'm like, right, we've got you booked in for emergency endoscopic surgery tonight at 11:30. Got very lucky, the neurosurgeon had specialised in colloid cysts. Chances of you having one like 2 to 3 in a million or something daft like that. So very lucky that he specialised in it. And I'm here to tell the tale, but I also am here to tell the tale simply because of the NHS and the amazing surgeons,
the amazing service of the NHS,
and nurses and everything else like that. So over the years, I've always known that I wanted to do something to give back. I was never really sure what that was going to be or how that was going to appear. So last year, my wife and I, we were at the Care Managers Awards show down at the London EXAM. And sat there again thinking, what can I really be doing to sort of like help the sectors, because I know that with cuts and funding dropping out and all that kind of stuff, everyone's struggling. And I realised that I have dealers who work for me. They refer their customers to me, and I basically give them part of the money I earn from the energy company, and as a referral fee, for want of a better way of putting it. So I thought, well, hang on, why don't I just cut out the middleman here, and start giving directly back to the care, education, and charity sectors whenever I work with them to secure them new contracts. And started looking at some of the care home providers down there, and so like 96 care homes and so forth, and did the maths on the back of a fag packet, as it were, and realised that if I was to look at 96 care homes, I'd probably be donating back anywhere between £250,000. So the £1 million mission kind of came from there, because I realised, well, actually, if I can get out in front of the right organisations and stuff like that, the more money I can give back.
Yeah.
It's straightforward.
And that is a wonderful strapline, especially giving back to, such worthy causes.
Absolutely.
That's what it's all about. So how does the payback scheme work? And can you talk us through the process of how the organisations can benefit through securing these energy contracts through your service?
Absolutely, yeah. So it's very straightforward. T150 Energy, we're an energy broker. I don't like the term broker though, because it throws up far too many negative connotations.
Yes.
And I almost feel it's my it's my duty a little bit, I suppose, to feel like I want to protect a lot of these organisations within these sectors from energy brokers. So what I do is very straightforward. I take a copy of their energy bills, carry out a bit of an analysis on the current costs, put together a forecast of what the costs are likely to be when the contract ends, and then if it is relevant at that time, we will start looking for new gas or electricity contracts for them.
Yeah.
And when we've secured those contracts, we obviously, again, we make all of our money from the energy companies, so we don't charge for anything that we do. When the contract goes live, we then make a donation back to that same organisation who we have just secured the energy contracts for.
So you're potentially saving them money on the energy contract and you're giving them a payback amount as well.
Absolutely.
So it really is winner-winner.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this is the way I sort of see it, is that these organisations, they are going to have to get new energy contracts at some stage.
Anyway.
Whether they're doing it themselves or they're going through a broker. However, as far as I'm aware, no one is going to be making a donation back to them.
Yes. So that's really a very, very niche offering there.
Yeah.
That your proposition encompasses,
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay, brilliant. Very interesting. I've not come across any other provider that does that. So we really need to get the name and your brand out there to get this out there. So what sectors does the payback scheme focus on? And why are care, education, why are those kind of sectors so dear to you? And why are they so key within your mission?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Those three sectors are absolutely vital for all of us in society.
Yeah.
Obviously, the three sectors themselves cover such a broad church of different organisations. Without the education sector, we wouldn't have our nurses, we wouldn't have our doctors. All of these things put together, like I say, have without them I wouldn't be here today.
Yeah. So this is your way of giving back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's my way of saying thanks and sort of paying it forward.
Yeah.
As it were,
Yeah.
for want of a better way of putting it.
Yeah.
I'm in a very, very privileged position. I know that. I'm still here, for a start.
Yeah.
Secondly, I'm in a privileged position because I run my own business and I'm in a position to do whatever I want with that business. So I've made it the goal of T150 Energy to put that £1 million back. And sector-wise, we work with all sorts of organisations, from homeless charities to care homes, supported living organisations, faith organisations, nurseries, preschools, just a smaller charity I've just worked with recently. It's a small country park. Again, it's a charity.
Yeah.
So anyone within those sectors, they're the organisations that I want to be working with to support. It's as straightforward as that.
And cuts at the moment and so on, all of these organisations are struggling as well. So anything that you can help, any money that you can put back, within their coffers is obviously a brilliant thing to do.
Absolutely, yeah.
Great. So what kind of impact have you seen so far with the payback scheme? And can you share any specific success stories, including the savings made, donations given back? What case studies have you got that we can talk about today where this concept is really working?
I think it's this is really important, especially for a lot of charities and organisations now. And it's very much the topic of your carbon footprint and being able to tick certain boxes to say that you're reducing your carbon or you're looking for 100% green and so forth. And a good example of this is a charity that I've just finished working with in Leicester. Homeless charity. They've got over 25 properties. Now, couldn't save them any money because it's never a guarantee that you're going to save money.
Okay.
One thing that was very important for them was to have 100% green energy contracts.
Okay.
So when you have your energy contracts, yes, they are often renewable, but they won't be 100% from renewable sources. And to have a certificate from the energy supplier saying that it's 100% renewable allows you to basically tick a very important box.
Yeah.
And also when you're looking for funding and bids and work and so forth,
it builds your profile. Yeah,
it's something that they are really looking for, and it helps organisations to get that. Okay. So it was really important for the homeless charity in Leicester to have that accreditation. So we've managed to secure them, obviously, the contracts for all of their properties, along with the 100% green energy tariff, and we'll also be making them a donation back of just over £3,000.
That's absolutely wonderful. Yeah.
As obviously, I mean, they're all worthy causes, but yeah, you know, the organisation in Leicester in particular, very, very much so. Another fantastic organisation worked with recently is the Derbyshire Children's Holiday Home, and we've managed to save them around, I think it's around £6,000 on their energy contracts. We'll be making them a donation back of £600. I'm very lucky that I work with a number of charity membership organisations. One of the first organisations who I started to work with was an organisation called Gurdwara Aid. Gurdwara Aid is basically, they are a charity that support all of the Gurdwaras in the UK, which are the Sikh temples.
Yeah.
And they provide advice on governance and best practice and so forth. So through Gurdwara Aid, I'm starting to work with a lot more of the Sikh temples. One of the Gurdwaras in Warsaw, we've managed to save them just over £15,000 on the new energy contract, and we'll be making them a donation back. I think it's just over £1,800.
I bet these people are just over the moon, because it's different on different levels, isn't it, that you're helping them. So it's helping them with their energy contracts. It's this green tick box that's becoming very, very important, and it's the payback scheme as well.
Absolutely, and it's also very much a case of making sure that they're getting the right advice. I mean, I'm certainly not going to name any names, but there's one organisation who I've worked with recently, quite a large charity, use well over 1 million kilowatt hours a year in electricity, just to put that into context. And average chip shop probably uses 150,000 kilowatt hours a year. Okay. They are working with a broker at the moment, and they're tied into a 3-year contract. This organisation, the broker they're currently working with, they're paying them £11,000 a year for very, very little. They've signed a contract really for the next 3 years.
So they're tied in. There's no getting out of that.
They're tied in, and it's effectively costing them £33,000 a year for this energy broker to effectively analyse their bills, which I find incredibly frustrating. And that's 33 grand. So I said to them, so what could the charity do with 33,000?
It's a massive amount.
It's a huge amount of money.
I think that proves the ethos of your business and also your integrity as well. And I think that is a very, very important message moving forward, that, you know, you need to get that out there, that's what you're all about, really giving back. Yes, of course, you've got to make your profit. Everybody's got to live and so on. But there's such a large percentage that you're giving back, and that these charities can really benefit from.
This is it. I think my frustration with my industry is there's a lot of smoke and mirrors. You know, from, like I say, contracts like that where you're paying a broker to, you know, analyse your bills, which basically just means look at your usages, see whether it's any different, and it's, to a degree, it's a lot of nonsense.
Right.
There's other things like there's pass-through rates. So if, as an organisation, this is a great tip for anybody who's listening and looking at their energy bills. If they've got let's talk about electricity. If they're looking at their electricity rates that they're being offered or quoted, and they're getting a offer that is 4 or 5 pence cheaper than everybody else, you have to ask yourself, why is that 4 or 5 pence cheaper than everybody else? And the chances are it would be what's called a pass-through rate. So what it means is not all of the costs are added on at the beginning of the quote.
Okay.
They're actually added onto the bill. So you don't see that, but you look at it and you think, oh, brilliant, well, we're being quoted 20 pence as opposed to 25 pence per kilowatt hour.
Okay, but the bottom line is they'll be paying more because of these additions.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, yeah, exactly. When the bill comes through, again, it will be down in the small print at the bottom about the commodity charges.
Right, yeah.
Which are then added on top.
And it's too late then because they've signed a contract of 3 years or whatever.
And they're stuck in it. So it's making sure that you're on a fully fixed contract.
Okay.
So you truly understand what your costs are going to be.
So it's educating people, especially within these sectors, as to what to look for as well, isn't it really?
Absolutely. So it's about best practice within the energy market.
Yeah. Can I ask how you manage securing energy contracts and providing donations to organisations? At the same time, what kind of partnerships and relationships are crucial to making this work?
Absolutely. So whenever we work with any organisation, we go out to many different energy providers.
Okay.
There are some that we tend to avoid for various reasons, whether it's the customer service or general administration. You know, we've learned anecdotally from some clients that, you know, well, we've worked with this organisation before.
They are the best.
Don't want to be going there, and they may well be cheaper. And if it is about every single sort of like decimal point on a penny, when you're looking at the rates, then I'll say to my clients, well, look, fine, you know, go with X, but if you do run into problems, you've been warned.
Right, okay, yes.
For want of a better way of putting it.
It's giving them guidance, really.
Absolutely, 100%. Again, you know, working with organisations like Goodwara Aid are absolutely essential to what I do, because it means I can reach a much wider audience, and I'm very, very lucky to have their trust and to be able to work with them. I've also recently partnered with Support Staffordshire as well, which obviously a local charity organisation. I think they have around 2,000 charities that they again provide support to, whether it's accounting, governance and so forth. Groundworks as well, based here in Stoke and Trent. Just recently partnered with them. In fact, actually after today I'm Staffordshire Care Association. We've just recently partnered, so going down to just do a quick photo for a press release about us partnering to work with them, and I think they have around a couple of thousand care home members within the Staffordshire area.
So you're spreading the word, Matt, aren't you?
Absolutely, and those organisations are absolutely vital for me, because like I say, you know, being able to support them and the organisations that they then work with, again, it means the more people I can reach and the more money we can give back to these sectors that are absolutely vital for our health, our mental well-being, our children's education. If, you know, we are so lucky in this country to have what we have. I know a lot of people, obviously, you know, there are a lot of things to moan about, don't get me wrong. However, my attitude has always been there's always someone worse off than you. So.
And you're helping people where you can.
Absolutely.
There's no better reason to get up in the morning than, you know, to help people if you can give back something, and that's what you're doing. So, you know, I take my hat off to you, Matt.
No, thank you very much. It's great because I'm getting to meet some fantastic organisations and these charities out there that, you know, before I wouldn't even obviously known existed, but wouldn't even know there was a need for, and to see the work that they're doing in the community and everything else like that. It's a real privilege.
Yeah, and an eye opener, as you say.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, looking to the future then, what are your goals for the payback scheme and the £1 million mission? Hopefully, you'll get there very, very soon. I know you're well on your way with that. And how do you see the initiatives growing and evolving in the coming years? What's your plan, Matt?
Absolutely. Well, obviously, the main goal is to hit that £1 million mark that I've put out there. So, and then from there, really, it's a case of just continuing to give back and see what the next milestone is that we can achieve. The mission itself, I think, the more organisations I can work with, the more people who can help me spread the word. It has to be collaborative.
Yeah.
I can't do this on my own.
Yeah.
I literally, there's not enough hours in the day. I need people to help me.
Yeah, partnerships, people like myself who
Absolutely.
network out and about there in Stoke-on-Trent, Staffordshire and beyond, who think, you know what, this is a really, really worthy concept. Let's help Matt to spread the word, to network, etc., and to make those connections. So that's the kind of thing that you're looking for in the future.
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, where would I like to see the payback scheme going? I mean, I don't know, perhaps in the future I'd like to see maybe other businesses getting on board. Pledging that. Well, okay, do you know what? We for every deal we might make, we will make a small donation of X to a local charity, and so forth. So I suppose really I would like to see it spread. I would like to see other organisations perhaps following suit, doing the same thing, because if we could all just give back that tiny little bit of amount out of our profit margin at the end of the day,
it would make a big difference,
make a massive impact
to a lot of people's lives.
100%, yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time today. It's been so interesting.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to ask, if people want to find out more about T150 Energy, what's the best way? Give you a call, go on your website?
Absolutely. They can either give us a call, or they can connect with me on LinkedIn if they're on LinkedIn, or they can reach me via the website, which is paybackscheme.co.uk.
Wonderful. Again, Matt, thank you very much for coming in.
No, thank you for having me. It's been brilliant.
Out more
it's been really good.
Thank you.
Thank you.